Forget everything you know about the world's richest people. You think Elon Musk is powerful? You think Jeff Bezos has a lot of money? You are wrong. While the media distracts you with celebrities and famous CEOs, there is a man in the shadows. He doesn't have an Instagram. He doesn't do interviews. He doesn't even appear on the Forbes billionaire list. Yet he holds the leash of the entire Chinese economy. If he decided to stop working tomorrow, the global stock market would go into a free fall. The phone in your pocket, the clothes you wear, and the bank you use, they all lead back to one hidden name. But the truth behind this will shock you. This isn't just about money. It's about a level of control that makes most world leaders look like puppets. In this video, we are uncovering 3 massive secrets. First, how one man secretly owns the companies that power your daily life. Second, the forbidden bank account that holds more money than the entire U.S. Treasury. And third, the terrifying reason why this person's name is banned from being searched on the Chinese internet. Most people who try to tell this story are silenced. But today, we are going deep into the heart of the dragon. Let me show you exactly how this happened. To understand this mystery, we have to look at China differently. We see big cities like Shanghai and Beijing. We see massive factories. But who actually owns the land? Who owns the banks? In the West, we know who owns things. If you buy a Tesla, you know Elon Musk is the boss. But in China, there is a shadow system. For the last 30 years, China has become the factory of the world. They grew faster than any country in human history. Millions of people moved from poor farms into giant skyscrapers. This created trillions of dollars in new wealth. But here is the first mini surprise. That money didn't just disappear into the pockets of the people you see on TV. In 2021, the famous billionaire Jack Ma disappeared for months after saying just one wrong sentence about the government. This was a message to the world. It showed that the famous billionaires are just workers. The real boss is the one who can make a billionaire vanish. This topic matters right now because the world's economy is shaking. Prices are going up and everyone is asking, who is in charge? To find the answer, we have to follow the red nobility. These are the families who have ruled from the shadows since the 1940s. They don't want you to know their names, but they control the flow of trillions of dollars across the ocean. Imagine a giant spider web. Every thread is a business: tech, oil, gold, and shipping. At the center of that web sits one person who decides who gets rich and who gets destroyed. We aren't talking about a politician. We are talking about a shadow. Trillionaire. Now, here's where things get really interesting. Let's talk about the ghost companies. If you look at the biggest companies in the world, you will see names like BlackRock or Vanguard. But in China, the most powerful companies are state-owned enterprises. On paper, they belong to the people. But in reality, they are controlled by a tiny group of people often called the princelings. The biggest wow moment? There is a secret holding company that manages assets worth over $3 trillion. That is more than the GDP of most countries on Earth. Think about the numbers for a second. 3 trillion. If you spent $1 million every single day, it would take you over 8,000 years to spend that much money. And yet, this money is managed by a man whose face you have never seen on a magazine cover. This affects your life directly. Every time you buy a product made in China, a small fraction of that money flows through a network of banks in Hong Kong and eventually ends up in the private accounts of this hidden elite. Here is how the tension builds. For years, researchers tried to track this money. They found shell companies in the British Virgin Islands. These are fake companies that exist only on paper. They discovered that one single family, the Red Wealth family, had used these fake companies to hide over $20 billion in just 1 year. Visualizing this is like a movie. Imagine a dark room with thousands of computer screens. Each screen represents a different company in a different country. One man sits in the middle. He clicks a button and a shipping port in Africa closes. He clicks another and a tech company in Silicon Valley loses its funding. This isn't a conspiracy theory. It's a financial reality. When the shadow trillionaire moves his money, the world feels it. He doesn't need to be famous. In fact, being famous is dangerous for him. Fame brings questions. Silence brings power. But if you think that's crazy, wait until you hear this. Deep in the heart of Beijing, there is a building that doesn't have a name on it. It's not a tourist spot. Guards with machine guns stand at every door. Inside this building is what insiders call the wealth map. You see, most people think wealth is about having money in a bank. account like Chase or HSBC, but for the hidden trillionaire ruling China, money isn't paper, it's leverage. There is a secret financial system called the shadow banking network. It is estimated to be worth $10 trillion. To give you an idea of how big that is, imagine every single person in the United States gave you $30,000. You still wouldn't have as much money as what is moving through this secret Chinese network. Why is this a secret? Because in China, it is technically illegal for a single person to own the country's resources. Everything is supposed to belong to the party. But here is the shocking truth. The hidden trillionaire uses a system called the white glove. A white glove is a businessman who looks like the owner of a company, but he is actually just a front man. Think of it like a puppet show. You see the puppet dancing, but you don't see the strings or the person holding them. For example, remember the giant real estate company Evergrande? It almost collapsed and nearly destroyed the global economy. Most people blame the CEO, but the secret truth is that Evergrande was just a tool. The hidden trillionaire used it to move money out of China and into luxury apartments in New York, London, and Los Angeles. Have you ever wondered why house prices in the USA are so high? Part of the reason is that this secret Chinese wealth is being washed through American real estate. They buy entire buildings through companies with names like XYZ Holdings. No one knows who the real owner is. But it gets even darker. This hidden leader doesn't just own buildings. He owns the data. In the West, we worry about Facebook or Google tracking us. In China, the shadow trillionaire has access to a system called Integrated Joint Operations. This is a supercomputer that tracks every single cent spent by 1.4 billion people. If you buy a coffee, he knows. If you pay your rent, he knows. He uses this data to predict the stock market before it happens. Imagine knowing exactly what 1 billion people will buy tomorrow. You would never lose money. You would become a god of finance. While the world was looking at the pandemic, this hidden figure was quietly buying up the world's supply of lithium and cobalt. Why? Because those are the minerals needed for every electric car battery. He isn't just ruling China anymore. He is making a move to rule the future of the entire planet. He is making sure that whether you drive a Tesla or a Ford, a piece of your paycheck goes back to his secret vault in Beijing. But even with all this power, there is one thing this man is absolutely terrified of. And that brings us to our biggest secret yet. If this man is so powerful, why haven't you heard his name on the news? Why isn't he on the cover of magazines? The answer is the most high-tech eraser in human history. In China, there is something called the Great Firewall. It's a giant digital wall that blocks Google, YouTube, and Facebook. But it does something much more specific. It has a keyword list. If you type the name of this hidden trillionaire into a Chinese search engine, your screen might go blank. Or worse, the police might show up at your door. He has built a digital dictatorship. He uses artificial intelligence to scan every social media post in real time. If anyone starts talking about his secret bank accounts or his family's luxury lifestyle in Switzerland, the post is deleted in milliseconds. This is why he is the forbidden billionaire. He has realized that in the modern world, anonymity is the ultimate weapon. Think about it. If people know you are the richest man, they look for your mistakes. They sue you. They tax you. But if you don't exist on paper, you are invincible. Here is a specific example that will blow your mind. A few years ago, a group of journalists found a secret database called the Panama Papers. It listed thousands of people hiding money in tax havens. They found the names of the hidden trillionaire's family members. What happened next? The news didn't break in China. Instead, the internet in China literally slowed down to a crawl. The government blocked every news site that mentioned the story. They even blocked the word Panama from being used in private text messages. This man has the power to change the language of 1 billion people just to protect his image. But here's the most shocking part for us in the USA. This hidden leader is now using that same technology to influence us. Through apps on your phone, he is gathering data on American families. He isn't looking for your credit card number. He has enough money. He is looking for influence. By controlling what you see on your phone, he can control what you think. He can make himself look like a hero, or he can make his enemies look like villains. He is playing a game of global chess while the rest of us are playing checkers. He owns the ports in Africa, the mines in South America, the skyscrapers in New York, and the data in your pocket. So the big question remains, if he has all the money and all the power, what is his final goal? The truth is much more frightening than just becoming rich. We started this journey by asking, who is the richest man in the world? We found out it's not a celebrity billionaire. It's a shadow figure who controls a $3 trillion empire. A man who uses white gloves to hide his tracks and a digital firewall to hide his name. But why does he do it? Why not just retire on a private island? Because for the hidden trillionaire, money is just a way to keep score. The real goal is total stability. He remembers a time when China was poor. He is terrified of the people rising up. So he buys everything, not because he wants to own it, but because he wants to control it. He wants a world where no one can challenge him. Not the government, not the banks, and certainly not the people. This is the hidden empire. It is a system where wealth is invisible, power is absolute, and the truth is forbidden. The next time you see a list of the world's richest people, remember the man we talked about today. Remember that the real power doesn't need to brag online. The real power is silent. As we close this investigation, ask yourself, in a world where one man can secretly rule a superpower, are any of us truly free? Or are we all just tiny pieces in a giant game we don't even know we're playing? The truth is out there. But as long as the hidden trillionaire is in charge, it will stay buried in the shadows. If you found this investigation eye-opening, make sure to hit the like button. The more people who know the truth, the harder it is for them to hide it. And if you want to see our next deep dive into the families who secretly run the world, make sure to subscribe and turn on notifications, because the stories they hide are the ones you need to hear the most. Thank you for watching, and we will see you in the next one.